Their shots down there. Now, I know they're being contested and nothing is easy. Nice hands by Saxon in the middle. And a good rip out right there because Marshallonis sat down on the bench for about a minute. And then Randy Bennett said after the little run by Alabama, okay, get up and get back in that game. He's waiting to get in.
St. Mary's hasn't turned it over yet. That last Saxon bucket ending an 8-0 Bama run. Lewis, big shot.
Yes, Spiro, and obviously he isn't the guy in the front court for Alabama that's getting a lot of attention with Amori and Nelson and Diabate, but Sherrell, as this NCAA tournament progresses, if Alabama advances, could be a name to watch. He can explode like a volcano at any time, Spiro and Jim.
Mikey, Lewis, that's a scary sight underneath, outside, Nelson. A little bit too much.
Now you got to push. No question about it. You have to push.
We come up on 90 seconds. Marshallonis, reset Ross. Slithers inside. Lewis, corner three.
I don't think they can zone out on the floor when Mikey Lewis is out there because he has electrified this offense in the two games that he's played against Gonzaga.
18-5. Man, Gonzaga looks great in the early minutes. That might be the best stretch of basketball they've had all year.
They've been outstanding. It's March, right?
Barrett gave up the three. Here is Lewis. Nembhard closed out on him, forced him to shoot the two, and he makes it.
I'm telling you, if you keep playing one-on-one and allow Graham Ike to catch the ball down low on the block, he's going to shoot 70% in this game. 70% plus.
I mean, you're talking about one of the best defenders in the country down low. Mitchell Saxon, doesn't matter.
No. Ike overpowers. He does his work early. He buries you underneath the hoop.
Double team came. Morauskas really didn't see it. Skipped it over the top. They're paying extra attention to Mikey Lewis. He scores anyway. And
versus what we saw during the regular season.
Yeah, it's a good point because, look, this conference tournament is laid out a little differently than most. Lewis catches and scores. That's what he does. Clinched the outright conference title.
Mikey Lewis
on the Zags floor. Mikey Lewis just
should attack this.
He did. Shot no good, though.
Got numbers. But St. Mary's does an excellent job just pulling it back out.
Yeah, when you're up 25 with under 6 minutes to go. That's Dave, how they play.
Dave, they would have done that in the first minute of the game.
True fact, no matter what the score is. Ross, Odom still playing hard on defense. Lewis, really tough shot, but he makes it.
Bennett keeps it close to home even with his assistants.
Fala off balance there. Again, when Wessels comes in, he's stronger and taller than Saxon. He is a disruptor. Marshallonis kicks. Lewis launches. Got it. And kind of that mullet.
He was definitely a fun player to cover over the years here at LMU. Had a unique hairstyle, had a unique game, quite frankly. He was a really good player.
Lewis, dead on three.
Caleb Stone Carawell, they are 4 for 23. He's got to find another area where they can attack St. Mary's and take advantage of it, because right now he's been the lone bright spot on that end of the floor.
And Porter just missed 2 free throws. Lewis off the screen. The three, man, you cannot leave that.
A couple players hit the floor. The whole lane opened up.
7 points off of 3 offensive rebounds on the game so far. The hustle plays have gone the way of Gonzaga since the fast 11-0 start.
Saxon whips one into the corner. That's Mikey Lewis who just checked in. And that
he is walking up the floor right now. Like, he's given everything he has early in this game, but to avoid some foul issues, you got to give him at least a little bit of a break.
Lewis hits the three. St. Mary's was up 11-0 to start the game. They were up by 10 at halftime. And Gonzaga has gotten themselves right back in this game. They've never led, though. St. Mary's with a win, wins the conference title. Mikey Lewis way outside. Made them both. These are the two teams that have dominated this league. Regular season, tournament, any way you break it down. Lewis, another three.
And he got it.
Plus he got fouled.
Randy Bennett's going, relax. We're not going yet. There's 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Now they go, and they find Lewis again. Another one for Mikey Lewis.
St. Mary's leading it by 3. 5:45 to go.
And just to finish that point, St. Mary's led 28-19 at halftime in the game in Portland. Wound up winning 81-58.
And Lewis now out to Barrett. Barrett again, open look for 3. Another misfire, but another offensive rebound for Morauskas. Lewis, sidestep, got it. 13 points total. Mosic with 10 in the second half. McKinnon with 7. Mikey Lewis for 3, got it.
See pride again right there?
I think so. All things considered, not bad defense from Wessels, and the Gales maintaining a 15-point lead. Lewis for 3. That's money again.
But later in the season, you kind of know who you want to go with.
Marciulionis, no, and that's what Saxon can do. He can tip it back out for a fresh 20. Mikey Lewis left alone.
3 prior to that shot.
Hey, he beat me to the punch on that one, Roxy. He is not known as a three-point shooter. Really not much of a scorer, but defensively and on the glass as well as screening, he provides so many of the intangibles for the Broncos.
Countering with a 3 is...
Oh, yeah. They tried to fight over the top of that dribble handoff.
We're talking about the reigning West Coast Conference Player of the Year, and he was the most outstanding player of the WCC tournament in Vegas last March. The second Gale to win both awards in the same season, joining Matthew Dellavedova.
That's a pretty good guy to be in the same conversation with.
Tough shot, Mikey Lewis.
Going to leave someone out, unfortunately.
No rhythm. They haven't been able to create turnovers. Absolutely no buckets in transition. This has been a half-court affair, and St. Mary's execution in the half-court has been phenomenal.
And a 3 from the freshman, Mike. Oh, the quickness of Marciulionis and a kick out. And a 3 again from Mikey Lewis. ESPN. Left open, Mikey Lewis makes Oregon State pay for it.
Be able to keep up the pace. Big man Braden Huff, who can definitely shoot from the outside. And here come the Zags, down by as many as 11 in this first half. And Nemhard's already got 5 assists in this game. Wow.
His ability to set his teammates up and put them in a position to be successful is elite.
Saxon going to work against Huff. Here's Mikey Lewis, freshman from the outside.
ESPN 100 by our Paul Biancardi, a very top shelf recruit for Randy Bennett.
Shot clock under 10. Marciulionis wants a screen, got to get a shot off. The pass, Lewis 3, good! It's lead. They were down.
Stay in the zone
in the first half, and this has changed the game.
The zone and the adjustment into the zone by Mark Few has been brilliant. Look how stagnant and hesitant they are. Their offense keeps getting pushed further and further away.
Lewis, the freshman, for three is good.
Because they're in the zone and you're no longer able to get the ball in the paint, the Gales aren't getting to the free throw line. They shot 15 free throws in the first half, only 2 here in the second, and that's because everything is from beyond the arc.
Lewis, high arching runner. Rebounder as well. Ike will try it from the free throw line. That one no good.
Back into the zone this possession. Nobody at the elbow. Nobody in the center flashing with purpose. You got to flash hard. They're kind of walking into that spot.
Lewis.
With the best offensive rebounder in the country, you're taking away the interior presence of the Gales.
Lewis, catch and shoot three.
Calmes and Washington State playing at their tempo has a 6-point lead.
Anytime they're able to force a turnover, guys are getting out ahead because 1 through 5 on this roster are willing passers, playmakers, throwing it up ahead on the break.
Lewis launches and hits. This
additions. Santa Clara is terrific. So it's a great league. St. Mary's is terrific, and so is San Francisco.
Off the baseline, inbounds, another.
It's like Leather's going to shoot it.
Ross drops it off. Saxon finds a cutting. Mikey Lewis, beautiful half.
And 8 seconds on the shot clock. This is Odom down the lane, lob it inside, throws it away. Pepperdine with the turnover. Ahead to Morauskas underneath, laying it up and in. Corvallis, Oregon State on Thursday night for the Gales. They'll be home against San Francisco on Thursday. St. Mary's located in Moraga, California, about 10 miles northeast of Oakland, so on the East Bay. Here driving is Lewis, who throws it up and in. The conferences throughout, and that includes the Power Four. All right, 62-37, 5:45 left as the Gales controlling things. Long 3-point shot attempt is good.
A good move by Santiago Truitt. Again, we talked about in the pregame his ability to score now and how much he's worked on it. Nice little soft touch on the fadeaway. Torero's within 5.
Barrett in a 15-10 contest. Mikey Lewis is on, the freshman from Oakland. Lewis driving baseline with the jumper. It's up and good. First shot of the contest. Just Gales basketball with 26 in the shot clock. 7:33 to play, first half. Barrett up top for Mikey Lewis. For Barrett. Lewis has 2. Driving into the lane. It's good.
Talking a little bit after that one. Put some swag to him after that play.
29-19, 10-point contest. Lewis will go for 3. That one's good. For San Diego, they get it in. Barrett will take the 3, launching back iron, no good. Tipped out to Lewis. Lewis will take the 3, and he drains it. Bucket spinning down the lane, went through 3 defenders, and the ball taken away. Saxon ahead for Ross. Into the corner, Hardaway.
Another pickpocket there for St. Mary's. Done a great job of that all night defensively.
Now out for Lewis, up for 3, it's good. 72-42, 8:41 left to play. Joshua Dent, the freshman from Australia, on for St. Mary's. Lewis straight away for 3, count it. Mikey.
16 points in 14 minutes. Not a bad stat line.
And a steal. Dent takes it away. Throws it ahead looking for Lewis, who lays it in.
They decided he was better to bring off the bench and start Azanza.
Yeah, played only 5 minutes against Gonzaga.
Lewis with the floater off the bench.
He's an elder statesman. He's another one of those leaders that does it the St. Mary's way.
from one of the first place teams, St. Mary's, and a tough LMU team who's still looking for their first road win. So far, it's been a stifling defense that has forced LMU to be 2 of 9 from the field. And this guy, Mikey Lewis, who has come off the bench. Lewis off 1 foot. Saxon keeps it alive and a fresh 20.
We'll be saying that often tonight.
Lewis.
Draw the contact and get yourself to the free throw line.
The Pilots back into that zone defense. Barrett saw the opening. Out to Ross. They kick it over to Lewis. He's got his first basket. And Portland just needs something to go their way right now.
Well, decision making, turning the ball over. And that's a great play by Lewis.
5 points for Masic.
Masic has the ability to shoot the three, and if he can get going and Portland get hot from the three-point line, this game becomes way different.
That ends a nearly 4.5-minute scoring drought for Portland. Lewis pulls up from the baseline. He's been red.
Pepperdine hanging in there early, down just 3. Both teams have made 5 shots so far. The St. Mary's offense sluggish as it's been in recent first halves. There's Lewis. Knocks one down from the top of the transfer from McNeese. He's been well-traveled over his collegiate career. Todorovic, top of the arc 3, a little short. And Morauskas in there for his 3rd rebound. Harry Wessels, the first big man coming off the bench tonight. We've seen a pretty even split the last couple of games between Wessels and Andrew McKeever as Mikey Lewis is pure on. Remember, the Gales were 3 of 21 against UTSA, and that's part of the reason why that game went to overtime. Hardaway is going to come out of the scrum with the offensive rebound for St. Mary's. Mikey Lewis up with the right hand, gets that one to fall. 34.9, so that hasn't been decided. What also hasn't been decided is this other statistic, which I find even more mind-blowing than going 20 years without being outshot in 5 straight games. St. Mary's has allowed its opponent to shoot tonight, doing just that, aided by the performance at the three-point line. Pepperdine just 2 of 11 from out there. And the Waves going with a zone, down 22.
I think we're at the point where Randy Bennett can start thinking about emptying his bench.
A 25-point advantage here with just south of 6 minutes to play, and another Pepperdine turnover. That's 12 for the Waves tonight. Into the corner for Mikey Lewis. The hot hand hits another. Has not turned it over tonight, and they're +8 on the boards early. All good signs and things that, as I was saying a minute ago, Mickey McConnell said the Gales needed to get back to. As Mikey Lewis drains a corner. That was a back iron miss, and Morauskas got the rebound. Now, can St. Mary's get something going offensively? Just 3 of 9 shooting the basketball and 1 of 5 from the free throw line as well. That certainly hasn't helped matters. Down low for Saxon, but he backpedals, then he's tripped. Lewis sidesteps for 3. He drains it. Down low in the paint tonight.
Gattaretzi's had 2 or 3 of those. He's got 10 points total, 5 for 6 from the floor.
And the Aggies with a 6-point advantage in the paint. You don't normally see that against St. Mary's either. Here comes Lewis to Saxon, in and out of his paws. Lewis fades away from the baseline. That one's good.
And, Brian, a few times already this season, this has been about the time when I've said, it's danger time for the St. Mary's opponent with 13 and a half minutes to go. And now the Gales down by 16. Now it's danger time for St. Mary's.
Mikey Lewis for 3. Splash.
Been the decider right there. If the Gales had stopped them, you still got a chance at a 3-possession game with a minute to go. Now a 4-possession game. Awfully tough.
And Utah State going back to zone to try and keep the Gales off the three-point line as Mikey Lewis knocks one down from the...
Marcialonis at the helm.
Mikey Lewis off a long rebound. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. There. On the other end, and then the 41% shooter connects from distance. 30-17, Boise State, their largest lead of the night. Big time answer. Had the foul to give. Marciulionis off the set play. 17 huge points for him tonight. He has not knocked down a three. Augustus Marciulionis, the reigning West Coast Conference Player of the Year. Oh, big time shot.
You nailed it. A strong, aggressive drive. We used to call it the $10 move, but the 10-cent finish. Could not finish off the glass.
Here is Mikey Lewis. Keep your eye on him, folks. It's about the whole defense that collapsed on him and still affected by Miro Little. Little looking for a pick six. No foul. Little hits the deck. Lewis streaking down the court. Up and under. The freshman makes it look.
The Roadrunners with 5. The Gales came into the game second in the country in rebound margin. Plus 14.9.
There's Lewis. He got it. In the middle of it is going to be in the conversation, but from top to bottom, you could argue this might be the most dangerous stretch. Here's Lewis in transition. Got it.
Another shrinking the deficit from 9-1 with an 8-0 stretch. Lewis fires and knocks down the three. They'll cradle it to the bucket for 2.
That's just craftiness by B.J. Freeman. And great footwork to score that one.
Arizona State plus 16 in the paint. Something you probably didn't have in your bingo card.
No, not at all. A lot of it fast break points.
Only 14 paint points for St. Mary's in this game at 48 last night against USC. Lewis with 5 to shoot off 1 foot. It spins home.
Oh, yes, John. The elevation.
Abo spent time at Texas Tech out of high school, most recently at Boise State. Hit 76 triples, a real threat from three-point territory a season ago. Wessels spoon feeds Lewis. Underneath the reverse, right to left sweeper off the.
And I think the 2 is the one that's really the one that's getting them going. Yeah, they can score, but the defense right there again by the Gales is what's been huge against the Trojans.
We mentioned Saxon, a top 5 shot blocker in program history. That is his first tonight. Barrett able to save it in. Here comes Lewis, and he lays it home. Marciulionis picks up Flood. Deflected. Another takeaway. He finds Lewis, and he throws it down. Points in this second half. Almost 17 minutes have gone by. Pope picks up Lewis. That's a step back for Mikey Lewis.
On the top, Hyder driving in on Marciulionis, high off the glass. No good, and there's Lewis for the board.
Excellent defense that time for Marciulionis.
Mikey Lewis into the lane. He'll try a hanging runner and get it to hit. To Hyder. Hyder probing the lane, and Marciulionis with the takeaway. Good awareness from Marciulionis. He read where that was going. Lewis, 3-ball from the wing, is in. And 3 of the game for Luke Barrett. Deflected by Saxon, and Barrett comes up with it.
Doing it on both ends. Good active hands as well.
Barrett gives it up to Lewis. Lewis inside off the glass, rolls home. Around the top of the key, trying to get inside Jessup. He lost it, and here comes Jordan Ross. Ross up ahead to Mikey Lewis, hanging in the air, and he gets the layup to go.
Long 2-pointer for Walker off. Morauskas, this is such a weapon. He can just get the rebound and get up
He was inside the lane within 5 seconds.
Absolutely.
Wessels. Left free throw line extended jumper.
Sixth made three as a Husker for Seachin, and these Nebraska fans, here they come. Gales haven't scored in over 3 minutes. Can Lewis change that? He can.
Nebraska of getting down the floor before St. Mary's is able to get situated defensively.
Lewis off the Saxon screen. And
really difficult conversion by Gary. He had to kind of take that back and reload.
There's points for Gary here today. Lewis, he tries again, and he true point guard to Nebraska last year out of necessity. Bryce Williams, he was forced to play some point. Shot clock winding down. Lewis, the floater. Wooster on the push. Underneath against 3 defenders. And it's pulled free. Lewis off the fake. He'll reset for 3. Man, can he play?
Been a little wet, just not able to clean up the mess. But Saxon has been outstanding on both ends of the floor this afternoon for the game.
Lewis with 9 to shoot. The floater over Bayuk to Gel. Off the glass, the rim and down. A lost Beveridge.
That's an expensive,
Yeah.
I'm almost sad over here.
Lewis off the fake, fires. My goodness, what a shot. 5 to shoot. Marciulona step back. Long 3. No. Rebound loose. It's Saxon. Lewis leans off the glass and scores. Second chance for St. Mary's. And on the flip side, Mikey Lewis from Oakland, as Morauskas misses his 3, but the rebound trickles back over to him. Not afraid to pull the trigger as he does there, and he drains it. Wilson, he gets that one to drop in. The Lorain, Ohio native and a West Virginia transfer ends the 7-zip run for the Zips. Wessels is double-teamed down low. Probably a good idea with a guy his size. They also have him working on James Okonkwo when it's a one-on-one situation. Marciulonis, no-look pass for Lewis. Top of the arc. He's money again.
You can understand why he took it, but might have been a little bit early in the possession for him to take that 3.
He's got another chance here, and he drains it. Mikey Lewis, high screen set by Saxon on the drive, off the glass. Gray swats the rebound over to Ashton Hardaway, and a fresh 20 for SMC. Lewis up the baseline, glass right side, and finishes tonight. Gray spins around, couldn't get past Barrett. Hardaway right there for the loose ball. And Lewis in transition. He wants to go again, and he's got another one. Has his 3rd consecutive double-double, and that's the first time that that's happened at St. Mary's in a couple of seasons. The last one to do that was Mitchell Saxon in 2023 in conference play against BYU, USF, and Gonzaga. Mikey Lewis for 3. He got another one. Drains the 3. And a couple of three-pointers made tonight by the Mocs.
Didn't see many three-pointers from either team Monday night here with the Towson St. Mary's game. I know Chattanooga wants to take some shots from beyond the arc. Actually, more than some. They want to take a lot.
Lewis on the drive. Little bump and run, and he's got,
for I believe 7 or 8 seasons, has moved to William & Mary, which has caused some problems for my son, Tom, who went to Cornell, and his girlfriend, Melanie, went to William & Mary, so I hope it didn't cause too much tension in their relationship.
Did you bring that up to them here tonight as Mikey
the glass?
Saxon intercepted by Lewis behind the back dribble. 2-on-2, Lewis goes up, he gets it! And between points and rebounds, and unfortunately, we're not able to see a couple of them here tonight. Frank Champion inactive, as well as Bash Wheeland, who are 2 of the most highly touted guys that Coach Dan Earl brought into the system this year, but They're both a little banged up, close to returning, but not there yet, as exactly what the Gales needed. It's Juve. He'll go for another three. That one's wide right, and Mikey Lewis steps in for the board. The Juve 1 of 5 shooting the three ball tonight. Lewis goes for it and gets it. And gets a friendly roll off the iron and a bucket to make it 13-10. And now Lewis in transition, and he drains it.
And is still in that. St. Mary's has the lead. It's a considerable lead, but not a one that you can just say the game's over. It's been this way for now probably 15 minutes of game time.
Marciulionis fakes, and Lewis trying to go over the shoulder, got it off the deflection, and finished.
Mr. Tejada.
That will help. 10 points on the night now for Tejada. First in double figures for Towson. Back to an 11-point game. At some point, they're going to have to trim it back to single digits. It's Lewis trying to get around Lowry, went a little